Haribol. Yes, sir. Haribol.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Govijanna Vallabha Giri Bharatari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Govijanna Vallabha Giri Bharatari Yashodanandana Braja Jananandana Yashodanandana Braja Jananandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yashodanandana Braja Jananandana Yashodanandana Braja Jananandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Govijanna Vallabha Giri Bharatari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveda Bhaktavinda ki jai, Untitled Chapter. So Hare Krishna, Harrisburg devotee family. So we had an exciting day yesterday. Those of us, anyone tuning in online that was not following online yesterday, or not here present, we had a very nice spring kirtan festival. Especially so many young people. Very nice. Very nice. So today is it's a time-honored tradition in ISKCON that the day after a big festival nobody comes to Sunday feast. So I'm glad you all came. But this is more a family mood here, so it'd be sort of like being invited to your sisters for dinner and then not showing up, right? So we like to be together. Kirtaniya Sada. So that's what we're doing. So the topic today that I was given is compassion, faith, and chanting. So yeah, we'll speak on this. I'll set the stage for sort of how I interpreted that, and hopefully you'll find something practical in the class. Tasmai Shri Guru Namo Vishnu Hare Krishna propagating Swami Namo Vishnu Hare Krishna So you know what it made me think of, these three words, is this three phrases. So who's heard of this Nam Ruchi Vaisnava Seva Jiva Daya? Who's heard of this? Yeah? Okay, some. So this is and I'll actually tell you, I like this very much. This is something I literally will do. Of course, I probably think too much about like the big picture, but I will, just to get my bearings. Hey, what is the purpose of life? What am I doing here, anyways? I like to think of these three things as actually the purpose of life. So just look at your day at the end of the day, and see, did you do these three things? Or at the beginning of the day, what can you do to do these three things? Because this is your business here. I mean, that's a separate class to talk about how economic development fits in things and your material duties. Anyways, that's another class. But this is your true business. This is your true business. Now, I was surprised to find, so I thought, okay, I've heard this so many times, but over life, so I thought it must be from Chaitanya Charitamrita or this or that. I couldn't find it. The closest I came, I was searching. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has it in his budget. Nadiya Bodhu Me Nityananda Mahajan. He says, Jiva Doya Krishna Nam Sarva Dharma Sa. So you see that Jiva Doya and the Krishna Dham as the essence of a religion. So that's there. But I couldn't find it. Then I was searching so much in the web, and finally I found someone quoting this. Jiva Daya Nama Ruchi Vaisnava Sevana Iha Chara Dharma Nahi Shuno Sanatan. And they explain this is attributed to Lord Chaitanya, often quoted or alluded to by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. For example, in his Chaitanya Bhagavat commentary, ISKCON 1.1 purport, but the original source is unknown. So anyways, I was surprised. I'd been hearing about this and been using it. So I was surprised that there was not more. But so I connected this compassion, faith, chanting to these three things. And another place where it doesn't directly explain it in this way, but it gives you also this idea of different things the different relationships you're having with different categories of entities. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 2nd chapter, verse 46. Ishvare tad adhineshu bhalisheshu vishattu cha prema maitri kripopeksha ya karoti sa madhyama. So here it's laying out that there's 4 different types of, this is talking about madhyama adhikari. Okay? This is where most of us are spending most of our time in devotional life. This uttama adhikari, highest stage, right? For most of us, that's aspirational. That comes very close to the end. And the kanishta adhikari, you go past that very quickly, actually. Once you've just been around the devotees, once you kind of, as they say, get over your pure devotee syndrome. I mean, it used to be, right? And especially if you've had ashram experience. Kalakanta Prabhu was very emphatic that it's good for devotees to have that, some sort of ashram experience. But actually, and I had it too. You join, and you think, I'm feeling love of God when I chant, How come nobody else is? Okay, I must, be very advanced or whatever, right? I must have taken birth, whatever. And you think it's very easy, because Krishna does give you some little bonus, sign-on bonus. You see now, right? Everywhere. Nobody is taking jobs. Have you seen these signs? Working for Amazon or whatever. I just saw, where did I see it? They had at this honest restaurant. I mean, we don't eat out because we're Vaisnavas. But we only have prasad. But if for example you get caught in the Arctic and there's no prasad available, then you'll go to honest restaurant and get the Swami Narayan without garlic onion, and you'll offer it. But they're also giving $250 sign-on bonus because they need waitresses and waiters. So Krishna also gives you sign-on bonus, not just after COVID. He always gives you, come on, join, become my devotee, and he gives you a little sign-on bonus. He gives you a little ecstasy, a little mercy, just to get you started, because it's so much obstacle to the first, it's just such a big experience. So that's natural, so that's fine. Anyway, but that wears off, just like any relationship, marriage, or whatever, right? Actually, I'll quote Bhakti Tirtha Swami because it's just coming to mind. Because I also listened. This topic came from one of his lectures. He didn't talk about these 3 things, but anyways, give inspiration. But yeah, he was talking about in El Hacho, he was giving a program with the young folks, and he was just saying, yes, he'll meet some young couple, and then the husband will be saying, and he's like, oh, I can't believe how fortunate I am. It's like I'm chanting Hare Krishna. I have this beautiful wife, and she's also chanting Hare Krishna, and we're doing it together, and everything is so wonderful. I'm like the happiest person ever. And then Maharaj would say, it's like they come 3 months later. They're like, Prabhu, the misery, you don't know how awful it is. We disagree about everything. How to fold the toilet paper, right? Where to live, what to do, right? So anyways, everything has that honeymoon period, right? So Kanishta Adhikari goes quickly, that's short, and then Uttara Adhikari comes, who knows when. Madhyama Adhikari stage lasts a long time. So you're making distinctions between 4 categories. Ishvara, Krishna. The Bali Sheshu, those are innocent. They don't have any opinions about Krishna. The Adhineshu, how does it translate? Persons who have taken to fully Krishna consciousness. Tat Adhineshu. It's translated as persons who have taken fully to Krishna consciousness. The devotees. And the Shatsucha, Dvish, envious. Those who are actively envious. So we have 4 different relationships with these 4 different categories of people. For Krishna, prema, love. We give our love to Krishna. For the devotees, maitri, friendship. So again, this Vaisnava seva, Vaisnava friendship. Bali Sheshu, those who are innocent, we show them kripa, mercy. So this jiva daya, you can see that's coming also. And then those who are actively envious, we actually neglect them. We just ignore them. Because there's nothing constructive we can do with them. Unless we are empowered, and this is more Uttamadhikari stage, to defeat even those who are really, against. not just people, they don't believe or whatever, they don't understand. This is people who are really, propagating atheism or whatever. They're empowered, actually. So you have to be equally empowered by Krishna, because they're empowered by Kali. So anyways, this was just another place where you see this idea. At least those two things of the Jiva Daya and Vaishnava Seva. So, okay, so let's get into that. First one is Nam Ruchi. Nam Ruchi. So Nam, we were talking about the name. Krishna's name. And Ruchi is taste. Ruchi is taste. And literally, even in like Ayurveda, it's literally the taste, like as we mean. Like something tastes sweet, something tastes bitter. The tongue, taste. So that word is literally used for taste. And that's why actually this word, so rasa, so Bhakti Siddhanta would translate like this, and Prabhupada would follow as mellow. And actually it's mellow as a noun. It's a little bit of a British kind of thing, where it's like fruit juice, so the taste. So you're tasting ras, it's that taste of something. Almost like the fruit juice, sweet fruit juice. And so you'll see devotees who've been chanting for a while, they'll talk about, I remember this Adikarta Prabhu, he's a Prabhupada disciple. He's British, lives in Alachua. And he leads kirtan at the Harinam they do during the Krishna lunch. So sometimes he would say, I know today was a little dry. Because I would chant with him, So that same example, right? Just like, right, if you have some dish, some cake, some puri, okay, maybe it's a little dry, right? It's not, the liquid is not there, the taste is not there. The juice, right? The rasgulla that's been in the fridge for too long, right? Lost the juice, becomes dry. So that's the opposite. So Nam Ruchi means we start to experience the name having the ras. It's not dry. And there's these stages of chanting, right? You have Shraddha, association with the Vaisnavas, Bhajana Kriya, doing the devotional activities, Anartha Nivritti, getting rid of the unwanted, the bad habits, and then Nishtha. Nishtha is sort of the top of the mountain. Like until you get to Nishtha, you're climbing up the mountain. Okay? Getting rid of others, trying to work hard. Nishtha is sort of the top. And then you can kind of slide down. And everything becomes easy. Right after Nishtha is this Nam Ruchi. You start to have this taste. Let me read a few, just to give the analogy of what we're trying to develop natural attraction. So here's a few quotes where Prabhupada talks about, in another context, developing this natural attraction. This is a lecture in Hyderabad on Bhagavad Gita, 1972. So if you think of Krishna, then you will increase your prem for Krishna. This is the process. Prem is not you have to get it outside. It is already there. Just like a young boy, young girl, as soon as they meet, there's natural attraction. That is already there. It is not that he has brought this attraction purchased from some shopkeeper. No, it is already there. Simply by combination, it becomes aroused. That's all. Similarly, Krishna prema is there. Nitya Siddha Krishna Bhakti Sadhya Kabunai. It is not that by artificial means we are getting Krishna prema. It is already there. Just like the attraction for young man and young woman, it comes at a certain stage. Similarly, if you develop this Shravan Kirtan, that Krishna prema will be aroused automatically. It is already there. And he quotes a couple other places this kind of similar thing. He says in Padma Purana there's a statement of submission in feeling by devotees praying to the Lord. My Lord, I know that young girls have natural affection for young boys, and that young boys have natural affection for young girls. I am praying at your lotus feet that my mind may become attracted unto you in the same spontaneous way. And he says the example is very appropriate. When a young boy or girl sees a member of the opposite sex, there's natural attraction without the need for any introduction, without any training. There's natural attraction due to the sex impulse. This is a material example, but the devotees praying can develop a similar spontaneous attachment for the Supreme Lord. So this is Nam Ruchi. You have natural attraction for it, right? Nobody has to tell you, right? Oh, look at the beautiful girl, right? Look at the handsome boy. Nobody has to tell you. It's natural. You don't have to train. You don't have to work towards it. You don't have to work towards it. So the truth is, in our healthy condition, we have that same attraction to Krishna, actually. We don't, here it's hard for us to remember because we've lost it. We're in a diseased condition. And so we have to kind of work to jumpstart it. But actually it's there. It's nothing you have to acquire. It's natural. It's natural. It's more natural than the attraction for the opposite sex. In fact, when that arises, all these other attractions we have, all these other tastes we have, that we have taste for something. We have taste for a television show, right? We have a taste for a particular sport. We have some pleasure we derive from activity. Actually, this pleasure drowns all those things out. It's like an ocean. Everything else is just like drops. So nam-ruchi means to get to the point. So one of our goals, again, so why do I bring up these three things? I try to think, okay, did I do something that helped me develop more of a taste for the holy name? Do I have more of a taste for the holy name? Do I enjoy it more? Am I more attracted to it? So then the obvious question is, if the goal is to become more naturally attracted to the holy name, what is the next question? So I've given you the goal. How do you get there, right? Do you want to know? Yeah? Right? I mean, how to get there? How to get there, right? How can I also have spontaneous attractions? So now I just feel like chanting Hare Krishna. I have attraction to that as much as, winning the lottery. No, I'm busy chanting Hare Krishna, right? I'm so happy, right? That's what we want to have, right? There's this story that's told of Sanatana Goswami and the touchstone. That he was some devotee of Lord Shiva. He's praying, and he wants all this wealth, and he wants to get the touchstone and touch everything turned to gold. He wants so much wealth. So then someone says, "Oh, you want that? You can go to Sanatana Goswami." So then he goes to Sanatana Goswami and he prays, "Oh, Sadhu, I've heard that you have this touchstone. Can I please have it?" And then Sanatana Goswami says, "Yes, it's there with the broken clay pots behind and the banana leaf plates behind my hut in the trash pile." So the person says, "Okay, great. I'm going to go get it." But he thinks, why is he having the trash pile? This thing is that I can touch everything and turn it to gold. It's so valuable. Why is it in the trash? So then he goes, he says, "Maharaj, sorry, to serve you again. One more question. Why are you keeping in trash?" Means, so you must have something more valuable. For you, this is trash. So what is your valuable thing? So Sanatana Goswami says, "Okay, for that, you get rid of this. First, you throw the touchstone into the river, and then I will tell you." And then he tells him, "Yes, you take Krishna Nam. This is the real thing that will satisfy your desires." So this is the idea, is to be attracted. How can we do that? So this is Rupa Goswami says this in his Nectar of Instruction. Nice short book, but it actually goes from, the first verses are for the very beginning devotee, very beginning, and then the last verses are, the utter reaches of Krishna consciousness. So that one book, basically, you can keep. No matter what level you're at, you're going to get something valuable. So he says, this is the verse 7 in that. He says, "The holy name, character, pastimes, and activities of Krishna are all transcendently sweet like sugar candy. Although the tongue of one afflicted by the jaundice of avidya cannot taste anything sweet, it is wonderful that simply by carefully chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish awakens within his tongue, and his disease is gradually destroyed at the root." Has anybody ever had jaundice? I haven't had. You had? So did you do this? How did you get cured? You don't remember? Because Prabhupada would say, he would just say, "Oh, you'll take the rock candy, and mishri, and if you have jaundice, you'll take it, and it'll taste very bitter." Has everyone had this rock candy? It's like the crystallized crunchy thing you can get from Indian store. And if you go, right, non-ISKCON temples, that's prasad, right? Here's a little rock candy and peanuts, ISKCON temple, you get a whole plate. So yeah, it's very sweet. It's really nice. But who else had jaundice? Did anybody try this cure of just eating the sugar candy or drinking sugar cane juice? And it's very bitter. Did you do like that, bro? Yeah. So how did you cure from drink this mishri or sugar cane juice? What? So then, and it tasted bitter, like very unpalatable. How long did it take to start tasting sweet? Okay. So that's amazing. And here's an analogy. This thing is. This is Rupa Goswami giving the analogy. I mean, for all we know, Krishna created jaundice and created the cure just to teach this lesson, right? This is the beauty of analogies, is that God can do anything. So how do we know He didn't just do this? Just so that we learn this lesson. That the thing that's sweet, everybody is saying it's sweet. The person who has this disease of jaundice, they're tasting it, and it doesn't taste sweet. But the cure is just to keep doing it. Isn't that wonderful? You just do it, right? They're supposed to just drinking sugarcane juice, and eventually it started to taste sweet again. So it became healthy. So in the purport, holy name of Lord Krishna, His quality, pastimes, and so forth are all of the nature of absolute truth, beauty, and bliss. Naturally, they are very sweet, like sugar candy, which appeals to everyone. Nescience, however, is compared to the disease called jaundice, which is caused by bilious secretions. Attacked by jaundice, the tongue of a diseased person cannot palatably relish sugar candy. Rather, a person with jaundice considers something sweet to taste very bitter. Avidya, ignorance, similarly perverts the ability to relish the transcendently palatable name, quality, form, and pastimes of Krishna. Despite this disease, if one with great care and attention takes to Krishna consciousness, chanting the holy name and hearing Krishna's transcendental pastimes, his ignorance will be destroyed and his tongue enabled to taste the sweetness of the transcendental nature of Krishna and his paraphernalia. Such a recovery of spiritual health is possible only by the regular cultivation of Krishna consciousness. If one with great care and attention takes to Krishna consciousness, chanting the holy name and hearing Krishna's transcendental pastimes, his ignorance will be destroyed. So the cure is just doing it. So okay, Namaruchi is one of your goals. Chant. Do your rounds. Come to Kirtan. If you keep doing the chanting, you will develop the taste, and it will grow. You will see 1 year to the next, you will be more naturally attracted. Yesterday, right? Yesterday's Kirtan compared to the previous year's spring Kirtan, whatever. If you're following this Krishna consciousness, you will see, I enjoyed it more. I got more. The ecstasy in my heart was more. And we can see, it happens in material things too. I remember, anyways, my parents will probably listen to this, but I went when I was in high school. So my cousin, about 4 years older, he invited me. I stayed at his place for a weekend. So then he said, okay, it's time for your training. Gave me a glass of beer. He said, drink. So I said, oh, okay. Right? My parents don't know whatever, I'm drinking. So I took one sip. Ah! What is this? This is disgusting. I said, people like this. But you develop taste, right? I don't think anybody drinks beer for the first time and says, oh, this is very nice. This is very nice, like sugarcane juice, right? They develop a taste. They develop taste, and they like the effects, and then it starts to taste nice. So we can see material things also, the bad things, you can develop a taste, right? You become conditioned to it. So similarly, this holy name is the opposite, right? If you're in material life, at the beginning, it's a chore. I remember even a lifetime of going to Sunday feast, when I first started to try to take up this japa, I don't know if it was in high school or something, and I would make sure to chant on my bed, because I would fall asleep in the middle of the chanting. So I needed to chant on my bed, because I knew I'd be chanting, maybe halfway through one round, I was asleep. I was done. It would put me to sleep. So there was no taste. There was no taste. But just by doing it will grow. All right, so Namaruchi, one of our 3 goals, right? So Namaruchi is what? What's the goal we want? Taste for holy name, to get pleasure, to be naturally attracted. Just like we're attracted, right? Boys attract to girls, girls attract to boys. We want that. And how do we get it? By doing it. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. It will come. It will come naturally. All right. Vaishnava Seva. Next one. The activity you want to engage in, and also the goal. So the chanting, right? The title is Compassion, Faith, Chanting. So chanting, of course, is the Namruchi. So here I'm going to connect Vaishnava Seva with faith. Faith. Okay, how is it connected with faith? Let's see. Well, one thing we chant for this prasada prayer, right? Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Svalpa Punya Vitang Rajan Vishwaso Naiva Jayate. Vishwasa, faith, is not born. Jayate. One who has Svalpa Punya, not enough pious activities. And that for such a person, the faith in four things is not born. What are the four things? Mahaprasade, Govinde, Nama Brahmani, Vaishnava. So, Govinda, faith in Krishna. Nama Brahmani, faith in his holy name. Mahaprasad, faith in his prasadam. And Vaishnava, faith in the Vaishnavas. So actually, when one has performed sufficient pious activities, Gyatra Sukriti something, then he starts to have some faith in Krishna, his prasad, his holy name, and Vaishnavas. So it's a matter of faith to believe in Vaishnavas. So that's how I'm connecting faith in Vaishnavas. So I would like to, there's so many ways to serve Vaishnavas. The way that I'd like to talk about today, I mean, so many things. Menial service, I'm thinking of this example. Who was this? Narottam Das Thakur. He would go, his guru only initiated one disciple, him, and how he got that mercy. His guru was just Babaji, living out in the forest, Lokanath Goswami, and there's no facilities, whatever, and so when he would use restroom, anybody who's gone to camping where there's no facilities, you have to bury it. You have to kind of create a little hole away from water sources. Anyway, you have to solve the problem, right? There's no facilities. So you have to start a campfire to cook the food, you got to sleep somewhere, and you got to take care of bathroom. So similarly, if you're out there, Prabhupada also liked this in New Vrindavan. I remember they were working on a toilet for his first visit. Finally, they got it working and flushing, And then he came, and then he said, no, I like to respond to nature's call out with the natural breezes. So he wanted to do his business outside. So anyways, this Narottam Das Thakur, he would go after his guru had taken care of business and deal with that. What a menial service, right? To take care of it. That he had used the restroom to deal with it. So that's also Vaishnava Seva. But the Vaishnava Seva I'd like to talk about today is listening to the Vaishnavas. Listen to them. So in that same nectar of instruction, Rupa Goswami says, in the fourth verse, Dadati pratigrinati guyam akyati prichati bhukti bhojayate chaiva shadvidam priti lakshanam. And he says, translation, offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasad and offering prasad with 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another. So we're very good at the bhukti bhojayate chaiva. That we're good at, right? Giving prasadam, eating prasadam. So that we have down. That's happening. No problem, right? Dadati pratigrinati, okay, gifts, yeah, that's also happening. To some extent, we're giving, right? Gifts of love. If you come back from India, right? Give something. Certain occasions are there. We had Krishna Prabhu's birthday yesterday, like that. But what about this guyam akyati prichati? Guyam means like secret. So keeping confidential. Are we doing that enough? I don't think so. So, okay, here. I've come to you. Oh, my dear friend. I'm having trouble getting up early. I like to sleep until 8 or 9 o'clock. This is hypothetical. This is not me saying it. Or maybe it's not hypothetical. Anyway, don't worry. But, okay, someone has come. So, give me some responses. Give me some responses that are not helpful. Either not helpful or something you would actually say. You know, and then let's see if it was helpful or not. So, raise your hands and then volunteer. Someone's response. So, your friend has come. Somebody's come and said, you know, I'm having trouble. You know, I can't wake up early to do my rounds and stuff. I'm just thinking too late. They're sharing. They're doing it. They're doing the exchange. They're coming. You're a friend, right? They don't want to put it on the Facebook. They don't want to come right announce it. Okay, yeah, you know, I know we're supposed to get up early. You know, this, right? Brahma Muhurta, or, you know, Mangalarti, this and that, or at least Guru Puja, whatever, 6:37. I'm having trouble. Okay, so your responses. Either something you would really say, or how about just to cover it, purposely say something that would be unhelpful. And we're going to kind of categorize this. So who has something? Your friend has come? What do you say? Yeah, what do you say?
Wake up early.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so we'll call that the command, right? Just do it. Come on, loser. Whatever, yeah, just do it. What's your problem? Okay, good. Someone else? Yes, Ru.
Sleep early.
Okay, right? So we have advice. We give advice. Well, if you sleep early, then you'll be able to do it. Others? What's another thing? How are you going to help your friend? You're in Maya. That's good. Very good, right? That's called judging, right? Just, yeah. Oh, wow. Man, you're totally Maya. You will never get liberation in like a million lifetimes. So bummed for you. Okay. Yes? You have to. Prabhupada said, right? Prabhupada, preach to them. You know, Prabhupada said, this is that. Prabhupada says in Gita, one who sleeps more than 6 hours out of 24 is certainly influenced by the mode of ignorance. A person in the mode of ignorance is lazy and prone to sleep a great deal. Yes, you have to. Look what you're doing. What else? Huh? Yes, right? Okay, right? So we can give tips, you know? And another spin on that is we can say, oh yeah, I had this problem before, and then I stopped eating late, and that helped, and you know, and we kind of talk about, right, ourselves. We'll call that switching the spotlight, you know? They've come to you, I have a problem. You're like, oh yeah, let me tell you about me, what I did, right? That might be something. We had the advice, sleeping earlier. What else? Okay, right. We can give also, right? There's all this research saying, right, if we look at the screens, it's like a different kind of light and it stimulates us, right? So, okay, right? So, lots of advisors. We have lots of advisors, right? Lots of advice coming. Yeah. What else? What's another, not even advice, but what's another way you could react? What's another way you might react to your friend has come and said this? Yeah. Okay, right. You can talk, right? Oh, yeah. Actually, I do that too. And I wasn't telling anybody. I'm glad there's somebody else. I'm in Maya too. Okay, we're both in Maya. Good. Let's go play video games since we're in Maya anyways. No, right? What else? Give me maybe 2 more or something, and then I'll fill in some list, and you can tell me if those are things you would respond. Who hasn't said one? Some idea? How must someone comes? Another way you might react. No. Okay, yeah. So this may not be exactly what you're saying. Don't give it that much, but let's say another way is kind of you can, let's call it minimize. You could say it's okay. Yeah, we all go through it. This and that, it'll go away, or whatever, right? We can kind of say, hey, don't be so worked up about it. Maybe one more, and I'll give you anything from my list. Yeah. Oh, okay, that's good. No, I like that. Wow, yeah, that sounds good. Did you talk to Anasuya? right? Okay, you can do nothing, right? You pass the buck. Okay. Other reactions that I would say are unhealthy. I mean, some you could be like, oh, wait, what'd you say? I was just checking my email. Did you say something? Right? That's also one thing. Just spaced out. The other thing would be like, oh, okay. Dude, hey, did you hear? You know, Naveen Sham says he wakes up really late. Tell everybody. How can he give class, you know? He's not even up at Brahma Muhurta. He chants his rounds at 11 o'clock, right? So you can gossip, right? You kind of, for them, you're like, yeah, no, I feel for you. And you send your text message. Okay, we talked about judging, preaching, minimizing, switching the spotlight. Start talking about, oh yeah, I had that problem, and I had this other problem too, and you know, you just start giving some story. Command, come on man, just do it. Another one, I like interrogate. Oh yeah? Yeah, what time do you wake up? What time do you sleep? What do you eat? You know? What do I think? Do you chant your rounds? What other problems do you have? Right? Interrogation. So, some of them are worse than others. But I would propose to you that none of these is the best way to initially react. The advice may be useful later, but think about yourself. How many times have you gotten unsolicited advice? Unsolicited advice. There's probably quotes about this, you know? It's sort of the trash of the world, you know? Unsolicited advice. Means you didn't ask for it and somebody's saying, oh yeah, you should do this and this and this. Who's had an experience, if you can think, where you were talking to somebody and they started giving you tips? All the time, right? And you're not open to it. You're not ready. Because actually you have a different need. You have a different need. So I would propose to you, and of course, the advice is better than, oh, what did you say? Or let me gossip, or, you know, wow, you are a loser. You're a total loser, you know? Okay, advice is better than that. But I would say there's two ways to react that are more constructive. And it takes practice. This is not natural. It is not natural. If you're naturally doing this, you come. You come give the class every week. Because you should instruct us on how to interact with the devotees. First is, you can do either or both of these. And I would ask you, practice this week. Practice it this week. And by next Sunday, see if you did one or both of these when somebody came to you with something. Practice it. Try to write down this homework. One is to reflect. Reflect means you're literally just saying back what they said to you. Yeah, you know, I'm just having trouble getting up early. It's just too hard. I'm so tired. I wake up late. Wow, yeah, it sounds like you're really having trouble getting up early. And you think they'd say, yeah, that's what I just said. That's just what I said. You're going, why are you repeating? But they won't. You try it, you will not get that reaction. I guarantee you. If somebody comes to you with a problem and you repeat the same words, you're like, oh, sounds like you're having trouble getting up early. Oh, bro, you know, I'm eating too much at night. I just, you know, the sweets, I get carried away. Oh, wow, yeah, sounds like you're just eating more sweets than you want to at night. You just repeat it like a mirror, reflecting. And I guarantee you, you won't get this reaction of, yeah, I just told you, bro. Like, why you didn't know? They'll be like, yeah. You will feel a little like relief. And if someone does it to you, you know, you will feel a little release. You'll feel a bit like, yeah, that's true. Yeah, thanks. You will feel, because like they received it. You have this burden. And you're trying to give it to a friend to help you shoulder it. But if they advise or label or judge, they're just giving it back to you. And you're like, okay, great, thanks, you know? But if you reflect it, it's like you've accepted it. You've accepted the burden. That's love. That's Vaisnava Seva. You're like, oh yeah, sounds like it. You're like with them. You're shouldering it with them. It is so powerful, it seems so simple. It is simple, but it's not easy. Try it. Try it. If someone comes to you, any friend, coworker, whatever, with just something, right? They're just sharing some struggle, something. Try it. Just repeat the same words back to them. Reflect. The other reaction is sympathy. Sympathize. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. Seems like it, it bums me out that you're having that struggle. Nothing. You haven't solved the problem. You didn't solve it. The problem hasn't gone away. But you're a friend. You've kind of, I'm sorry to hear that. You're with them. You're helping them with their issue. So try this. There's all sorts of resources out there. This is very well known in communication circles. This idea, it comes in many names, but this idea of reflect and or sympathize. Try to avoid, let me tell you about what I did. Try to avoid certainly like judging, labeling, preaching, minimizing, it's not a big deal, it's okay, don't worry about it, it'll go away, everyone, Like I said, some of these are worse than others, some of them have their place later on. But the initial thing is when they've come, Guhyam Akyati, Prichati, do the Prichati. Receive it. Receive it. And this is the way to receive it. Reflect or sympathize. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay, so please try that. Please try that this week as Vaisnava Seva. As Vaisnava Seva. It's a very nice thing you can do for the fellow Vaisnavas. It's a very nice way to serve them. Just listen to them. And you're following also this exchange of love. All right, so that was the faith. So chanting faith and then compassion, Jiva Daya. All right, so again, these three things. You're just evaluating your day or planning your next day. Okay, I want Namaruchi, I'm going to get my chanting in. And my goal is to develop this taste. Hey, I'm going to serve the devotees. I want to be, right? Krishna Das Anudas. My goal is to be a servant of the servant of the servant. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to serve devotees. By doing what? What did we talk about? How are you going to serve the devotees this week? Listen to them. Listen. Reflect, sympathize. Reflect, that's listening. You're accepting what they're sharing. Okay, Jiva Daya, compassion to the jivas. We should feel this compassion. Actually, because we go out. We just had this Earth Day festival. Did you get any bonus check in the mail, Nitya Gopal Prabhu, for going out for books? No. We collected donations. Did you go out and then Did you go to Honest Restaurant and have a nice banquet with that funds? No. So what are we getting out? What are we getting out of it? What's the motivation? We should feel some compassion. Those who are chanting regularly, think back to the last day that you didn't get your rounds done, either at all or early enough. How did that day go? Did it feel different than your other days? Raise your hands, those who can remember. If you're chanting regularly and then you had a day where you did it later or not enough. You felt the difference? The day was different? Yeah? How was it different? Just share some, words or whatever. Just shout out some things. How is it different? Feel you're missing something important? Difficult to focus? What did you say something, Xavier? Stale? Okay, stale. The experience. Unorganized. Can't even think properly, right? What else? You had something? Irritated. Yes. So those of us, when you've taken up chanting, right, you get those benefits. You get the opposite of what we said, right? You feel a little peace instead of irritation. You have focus. Things are a little interesting, not stale, right? You get the opposite. So just think about, there are billions of people out there that don't chant at all. All they know is that. That is their day-to-day experience. Their mind is harassing them like some giant bat mosquito. Just like, all day. They don't even know they're not the mind. They think that's me. That's me. Harassing them, biting them, without break, day and night. So should we feel some compassion? Should we almost feel like crying and just like, would you please just try to chant this mantra? Just take it, and if it makes you happier, that's it. We don't ask anything from you. Just, can you chant, please? You're suffering. So this was Prabhupada's compassion, right? So we should feel this. We should feel this because we have experience also of what it's like when we don't have this in our life. How to do it, right? So the goal is to, hey, today I want to show compassion to the devotees, or to the public, the people in general. I want to show compassion. That's my goal, to also be their servant. Two things. One is, and Vaisheshika Prabhu talks about this, right? You can't really share what you don't have. So if you're not doing the Nam Ruchi and also doing your sadhana, right, then how you will convince others, right? So it's like you should be consuming the product. Then you can tell people, oh yeah, it's very good. I take it every day, you know? Not that this is a great book. Oh yeah, what is it about? I'm not sure. I haven't read it, but you know. Now Prabhupada made, I've heard where it's like, there would be encouragement, you know, even the beginning devotee can do that. You know, I haven't read it, but I've heard it's very good. And I believed it, whatever. But really, much better if we can say, I do this, and people can see it. If you can say with conviction, I chant and it helps me so much, right? So that's one, is this should be overflow of your own practice. Build up, come to the 8-hour kirtan, build up your own taste, and then go out, you know, and it's your overflow of ecstasy. The other thing is your life becomes an adventure the moment you step outside your comfort zone. You can't really, when you're interacting with somebody, I mean, this is, those of you who do this, you can tell me if you agree or not. My realization is, if I'm out there interacting with somebody, only one of us can be in our comfort zone. If I'm completely comfortable, let me guarantee you, the other person is not comfortable. If I'm sitting and just kind of like, right, I'm expecting them to come out of the comfort zone. They have to sit, they have to look, they have to ask questions, whatever. And some may do that. But most folks, they just want to go and keep walking. They don't want to stop. They don't want to, right? You have to go out of your comfort zone. And if you go and this is the experience of those who've done, you know, tried to distribute books. If you're kind of totally comfortable and you know, in your full false ego and this and that, you get nothing. I mean, that was my experience this last weekend, you know. I was starting it, and I was just kind of like, man, nobody's taking anything. So then I just started to pray, and I'm like, you know, Krishna, I'm here. I'm just like, I'm doing this for you. I'm getting nothing out of it. You know what I mean? It's just like, and I was almost going to drop out. I was going to say, you know what? I was going to tell Prabhu, I said, I'm not feeling it. I tried for an hour. Nobody's, you know, giving anything, whatever. But you have to reach that place where you surrender. You surrender. And you become humble. And you just feel like, you know what, I'm just going to go out of my comfort zone, and I'm just going to push myself and just really kind of plead to Krishna, plead with folks to take. And then it happened. And so this is the thing, is that the determination to do something like this, to go out to the Reading Park and do Harinam, the determination to somehow or other support this outreach effort. It starts with that. But you don't have to be afraid that it stays on that platform of just, I have to force myself. It's just like Krishna Consciousness. You need faith to start it, But it's not like you have to do your whole life just based on faith. You will get reciprocation. You will get, and those of you can testify, if you've done book distribution or whatever. I mean, when you're out on Harinam, when you're out book distribution, the more you go out of your comfort zone and you do it with determination, do you get reciprocation? I mean, those of you who've tried any kind of outreach, do you feel like you get something back from Krishna? And it's a different quality, right? There's the chanting in the temple and there's the chanting out there. Huh? Is it? Raise your hand if you feel a different taste when you do that. It's different, right? Then Lord Chaitanya gets involved. The normal process, it's like there. It's bhakti. Bhakti always exists, but it's like when this is Lord Chaitanya's thing, and you start to get into that outreach, then it's like Lord Chaitanya says, oh, give him bonus, right? The like we said, you get the sign-on bonus. So the way to get that same bonus is to get out of your comfort zone and do Jiva Daya. Then Lord Chaitanya says, oh, Christmas bonus. Yeah, issue to him. Give him bonus. No, he's not a new person. No, this is, right? You attract his attention and he will give you. That's the payoff. That's what you get out of it. That's why I do it. That's why I do it. When I started, it's like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. I don't want to, reach out and basically begging people, take this. But I do it because first it starts with, oh no, but this is what Prabhupada wants and this is what we're supposed to do, and these people, they're being harassed by their minds. But then I do get paid. Lord Chaitanya gives, some ecstasy. All right, so I'll stop there. These are so compassion, faith, chanting, Namaruchi, Vaishnava Seva, Jiva Daya. I literally will think of these things as far as, hey, am I doing these three things? This is my purpose in life, my purpose for today. Let me take care of them. And so I offer them to you as well as a threefold goal and threefold practice for your daily life. Thanks so much for your attention. Hare Krishna. Should we take one or two questions, or should we chant? Or maybe just if there's any comment, doesn't have to be question, or you're sharing your experience of doing Jiva Daya or Vaishnava Seva, something. You have your homework, so don't forget your homework for the Vaishnava Seva. But any questions, comments, realization, something on this topic?
I have a question, two questions, one for me, one for Hare Krishna, so I'll ask Hare Krishna for those questions first. First of all, I have a very nice class. Practical,
Thank you.
amazing.
Hare Krishna.
So much. Wonderful topic. A question from Hare Krishna that regarding Vaishnava Seva, how can one avoid the mentality like Ramchandra Puri, who used to serve very nicely, feeding Vaishnavas, but then used to criticize them at Namaste?
Yeah. Okay, so how to avoid?
That mentality.
Yeah. If you're doing, I think the three practices support each other. So if you're doing your chanting and developing your Namaruchi, and you're doing the Jiva Daya, that will help your Vaishnava Seva be in a nice mood. It's hard to do one without the other two. They're kind of connected, The Jiva Daya is an overflow of your Namaruchi, right? But it's hard to do alone, so you better have some Vaishnava Seva there, some, sharing, Guyam Akyam Prichati. So I think, really, if you're doing all three at the same time, they will prevent one from doing one in a artificial or bogus way, right? Just Namruchi without Vaishnava Seva and Jiva Daya, you think, oh, I'll become Haridas Thakur. I'll just go and just chant rounds all day, right? But it won't work. You'll lose the taste and you'll stop. So, but if all three are going on, that will help.
Thank you. My question, Prabhu, is regarding compassion. And I really liked how you explained that whole concept of compassion. I've come across certain situations with today's young people where they really don't quite understand that compassion is above and beyond the horizons. To them, it's limited to just I know this person, I know this devotee, they're my friend, they need more care from me. And the others, they admire. So why do I need to show compassion to them? Because it's not like they're going to come. So how can we change the mentality that compassion is not limited, but it's limitless?
The main principle there is take your baby step. So you have your comfort zone, and that's super easy. You don't have to jump to the extreme. But can you take one step out of the comfort zone? And then you will build. So identify, hey, this is where, and really only you know. Nobody can really tell you. Spiritual life, you just have to be honest with yourself if you want to make advancement. So only you know, hey, this is totally with my comfort zone, but if I do this, if I talk to this person, that's a little bit beyond. If I engage, this person's my friend, okay, this person, my frenemy, whatever. Sometimes we have some tension, whatever, but I'm going to also reach out to them, and then the perfect stranger, and then the person who's actually actively inimical, right? So just find your comfort zone, see what is one step out of that. And then you'll have the next step. And that's spiritual life, it's progressive. You can't stay still in spiritual life. You are either making progress or you are backsliding. Just take that for granted. If you think, oh yeah, I'm steady, no. One of these two things is happening. So as long as you don't have to do extreme, I would just say, so the compassion, just what's something that's a little bit out of your comfort zone? And it might just be with your spouse, right? Somebody that you're dealing with all the time, you're like, I'm going to go back and gosh, when's the last time I said, I'm sorry for something I did, right? That's compassion. You're just going to go and it's a little, but I was right and they were totally wrong. Why am I saying I'm sorry, But find it. Guaranteed you did something wrong, right? If you had an argument with your spouse, there's something you did. So, okay, that's your one step. You just showed some compassion to your spouse. Maybe you showed compassion to yourself, right? Instead of beating yourself up, right? So just take that one step, and then you'll build momentum. And then eventually, you'll show compassion to the whole world. Is that all right? Okay. All right, should we chant, or one more question or something before we do Arti? Okay, good. Thanks so much for your attention. Haribol.
Srila Prabhupada ki. Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati He Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vashadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Nityananda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vashadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vashadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vashadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare, Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, 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 Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare, Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, 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 Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare, Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, 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 Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol. Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol. Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol. Go Premanande. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parigvacharya Stotra to Srimad His Divine Grace Desi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parigvacharya Stotra to Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव शादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपी गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जय श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय श्री मायापुर धाम की जय जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय गंगा माई की जय यमुना माई की जय तुलसी देवी की जय भक्ति देवी की जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय Samavita Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, Srila Prabhupada Ki. Namaste. Nara Sringhaya Namaste Nara Sringhaya Prahlad Halad Daine Prahlad Halad Daine Hiranyakasipu Vakshaha Hiranyakasipu Vakshaha Silatankana Kalaye Silatankana Kalaye Yato Nishringho Parato Nishringho Yato nishringho parato nishringho Yato yato yamitato nishringho Yato yato yamitato nishringho Bahir nishringho hridaye nishringho Bahir nishringho hridaye nishringho Narishrim hamadim saranam prapade Narishrim hamadim saranam prapade Tava kara kamalavare nakama butta singham Dalita hiranyakasipu Tanu bringaham Keshavadrita narahari rupa Jayo jagadisha hare Jayo jagadisha hare Jayo jagadisha hare Tavakara kamalavare nakama butta shringham Dalita hiranyakasipu Tanu bringaham Keshavadrita narahari rupa Jayo jagadisha hare Jayo jagadisha hare Jayo jagadisha hare Jai Nrsimhadev Jai Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Bhakta Prala Jaya Bhakta Prala Jaya Bhakta Prala Jaya Bhakta Prala Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Haribol, 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 Nittai Gaura Haribol. Nishingere Bhagavan ki jai, Bhakta Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Nittai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. It's so funny, when the body gets old, it's hard to get off the floor. Had to do a spin to get up. Very sad. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki. First of all, I want to thank all the devotees who made the Kirtan Fest yesterday a success. It was beautiful, it was amazing, and I have to admit that as the year goes by, it gets better and better and better and sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. And I think yesterday with so many young people, so many youth, it gave us the rejuvenation that we are not the body. We can go on chanting and we can go on dancing and we can go on spreading the holy name. And I also want to thank that the Matajis who helped cook the feast yesterday. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I mean, it was definitely a feat. So my obeisances to all of you for making it a wonderful feast. Thank you so much. Amazing. I want to thank the devotees for housing the young people. I mean, I think the home that had the most kids was Varsha and Prasad Prabhu. They had 13 boys. I'm like, all glorious. And they're still here, half of them. So my obeisance to you again, Prabhus. That was amazing. Everybody really came together and chipped in to accommodate the girls, to accommodate the boys, to accommodate the older kids. It was really nice. Wonderful prasadam. Devotees stayed till the end, almost till midnight, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Ram Babu was the last one to leave, like around close to midnight. But it was ecstatic. It was really ecstatic, to see. And to see these young people was like giving us new life. So we look forward to our next Kirtan Fest. And this is the first time we did a spring Kirtan, trying something new. And also I'm trying to slowly implement Chandramauli Swami's instruction, I think is better. Let's be safe. Here's my Shiksha Gurus. I'm going to be very careful to have more Kirtan Fest. So this is the first time we are doing it, in addition to the Kartik. And we'll have another one in Kartik. So 6 months span, and let's see how that one goes, and then probably will get better as the year goes by. So we're looking forward to more Kirtan Fest. Beautiful. A couple of announcements. One is we have, as Naveen Prabhu was saying, right, talking about the holy name, going out and chanting, sharing the compassion with everyone. So next Saturday is our first of the 2022 MSF Monthly Sankirtan Festival, Harinam, downtown Harrisburg. 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. right on Walnut and Front Street by the bridge. It's our famous spot. We've been there before 6 times. Please meet us there. And it's really, really sweet. And as as Naveen Prabhu was sharing in class, like when we go out and chant, it's so much more different and has a different sweetness than within the temple. And as he mentioned, right, when we chant among ourselves after the 8-hour kirtan, then we go out. And we take it out and we share the sweetness. And I have to confess and say that it's really sweet when we all come together once a month on Front Street, Walnut Street, and chant for 2 hours while the devotees are busy jumping and giving out books, and then we have the few devotees chanting for 2 hours by the riverfront. It's so beautiful. And I encourage any one of you who haven't been part of it, join us. It is really, really such a very nice, sublime, association with one another and also sharing the holy name. And if any questions about that, please do see Nitya Gopal Prabhu and Prasad Prabhu. There he is right there. From the book team, they could definitely use some support of that. Any help we need, you want to offer some help in the Harinam, please do see Jit Mitra Prabhu right there. And because and I think the two teams work so beautifully for all, such events. So please do see us. It's really, really nice. This is all about community building. We work together to make it happen. We come together and create magic. That's the whole Krishna magic. That's the whole thing. May 8th, Mother's Day. Thank you. Come on. Look, we don't want to make these women sad. Come on, people. We have a lot of mothers here, so let's give them a lot of credit, We want to make it something really special for the mothers, and we try to do it every year so that, once a year at least, if we forget during the year, at least that day we should not forget our mothers. And Krishna, Krishna, whenever he appeared, he came through a mother. So we should always definitely acknowledge our mothers. So we want to make something special. We're going to involve more of the children and the fathers to make it something special for the mothers. And there'll be a nice class on who is a mother. It doesn't have to be a mother who gave birth. Who is a mother? Prabhupada has said it many, many times. Who is a mother? We're going to talk about that on that day. So please do bring your friends with mothers so that we can all enjoy and be pampered by the fathers for a change and the children for a change. So that'll be nice. May 14th, Nrsimha Chaturdasi ki, the appearance of Lord Nrsimhadev. One of my favorite festivals. Really, really like that festival. So sweet. And that day is going to be kind of different because we are going to have a very interactive class, probably a discussion, probably a very, very nice community understanding of how the Lord protected the child and how we can learn to protect our children. We have to be very aware. That's a very famous African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. And I can definitely relate to that because both my children were born in Gitanagri in a community of so many mothers. And boy, it did take a village to raise everyone's children. And I remember those days in Gitanagri when we used to go out for once a year picnic with my spiritual master to a nearby park. And the kids would go play in the sand, with the sandbox and the water, and when it's time to take a bath, you'll see 15 kids lined up in the bathroom. And it's just one mother is bathing, one mother's putting soap, and one mother's dressing. And people come like, who's your mother? 15 kids in line. But that's when we really experience that it takes a village to raise a child. It's very, and I happen to be the one always soaping and bathing them down while the other mothers dress them up. It's really a sweet experience. And that made me think how important it is that we learn from Lord Nrsimhadev how he protected the child, Bhakta Prahlad, and how we should protect our children. So we're going to have that very nice class on that day, and we request everyone to please do come so we can all learn how we can protect our children. And on the next day is going to be Youth Day, where the parents are going to say something nice to the children. Let's switch up the roles here. Because sometimes, as Naveen Prabhu was saying, right, sometimes we don't even say I'm sorry to our spouse. We don't say I thank you to our children or I'm sorry to our children because it's like a taboo. So Youth Day is going to be a day, the very next day, after hearing the glories of Lord Nrsimhadev, we're going to hear how we as parents can appreciate our young people. Vishak is looking forward to that. I wonder why. Must be a message for me, eh? So we're going to make it very, very nice. So let's make that a very nice, wholesome, event. March, the last weekend in May is Baltimore Rath Yatra on a Saturday. So let's definitely go out, support our team, our neighboring sister temple. They support us, we support them. It's a community. So it's a one-day festival, of course, downtown Baltimore Harbor by the Inner Harbor. I think that's where it's going to be the same spot, right? Yeah. So that's going to be on the last Saturday of Memorial Day weekend. So please do, let's go out and support them. June 11 is New York Rath Yatra. And again, if anybody is interested in doing the bus trip, we'll need at least minimum 40 people. That is going to make it work. We to rent the bus, and then we're going to have a fee for that, and we'll definitely request you to give up the pay the fee in advance so we can book the bus. But I have to find out. We'll have to know how soon we need to do that, Hare Krishna. That's probably going to work on this week. But we need at least 40 people so that we can all caravan together and come back together rather than driving individual cars. I don't know about you guys, but I hate driving in New York. I don't drive in New York. I'm sorry. It's too crazy for me. So I'd rather be in the bus and have someone else drive and come back in one piece. So let's, focus. So if you're interested, please do come see myself or Hare Krishna so that we can get the tally and we can start working on renting the bus. July 9th is our Rath Yatra. After 2 years. We are, again, we got a new location, but it's much better than the one we had before, right on City Island, not the old spot, it's a whole new spot. We got the card, we got everything pretty much coming to place. We just need humble donations. It is only by the donation that's going to make this festival happen, and it's only by the donation of devotees that can really manifest this festival so that we can invite Lord Jagannath. And it'll be, and sad to say, Harrisburg City has been bereft for 2 years of the mercy of Lord Jagannath because of COVID. Let's give them Lord Jagannath. Let's start it back again, bring out Lord Jagannath. Let's dance on City Island. So we humbly request kind donations to make this possible. And please do see myself or Hare Krishna Prabhu if you would like to give a humble donation. That's going to make this festival really, really nice and awesome and really memorable for the Harrisburg city folks. Again, after 2 years, it's going to be a big thing for us. And the last weekend in July is Gitanagari Rath Yatra, which is the Saturday. It's always the last Saturday in July. And I just got a request that they need help. And normally in the past, many, many years, our congregation always helped to serve out prasadam for the Gitanagari Rath Yatra. So if we'll need a couple, we need like 15 people? Do you know how many? About 15, 20, right? We'll just say 20, okay. So we need at least about 20 volunteers who will be able to help serve prasadam during the Gitanagari Rath Yatra. If you are available, please do see me and I can take down the names and I can communicate with the organizer that's handling the whole Rath Yatra and Gitanagari. Until then, please do not leave home without your prasadam, not the credit card, the prasadam. And please do see the Lord before you go. If you have any questions, if anything, please do come see me. Again, thank you for participating. And I really want to, Naveen left, okay. And I really want to thank Naveen for such a wonderful class. It was a very nice class, very practical, right on point, amazing. He gave us an assignment. So let's be good students. He's an attorney, don't forget that. I always say that because, he's an attorney. So let's do our assignments because he's going to ask us next week, did we do our assignment? So, but I have to really confess and admit that the assignment that he gave is really powerful. It's really, 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 really powerful. I have literally used it, applied it, and it really, really works because that assignment is it's easy, but it's really, really tough to apply because it's opening the 2 ears and shutting the mouth. And the one that runs the most is the mouth, not the ears. So that's why it's so difficult to really listen, to practice the active listening. Thank you. I knew I was forgetting something. And so practice the assignment just to zip the mouth and open the ears and practice active listening and practice sympathy because it's really, really powerful. And I also have to admit with Naveen that when we do that, people will not say, why are you repeating? Because I've experienced they don't say that. If anything, they feel, I have been heard. I have been acknowledged. They feel really more included. So it's a really, really powerful tool. So please definitely do that assignment. It's really powerful. Before you go, Krishna Priya, I want to welcome Krishna Priya and her family. Naveen Sham's wife and the family.
They hopefully will soon be joining us. It's in the works, but very wonderful family. Thank you, Krishna Priya. We're looking forward for you to be part of our family. And they have 2 wonderful daughters. So we welcome them, and please do connect with them. Very, very nice family. And make friends. Hare Krishna. Until then, have a wonderful prasadam, and we'll see the deities, and we'll see you all soon. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One more time again, a little louder, please. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, one more time again, a little louder. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare one more time, very loudly, with your heart. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. One more time again, very loudly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna